Had to make a grand entrance.
What up, bruh?
What up, G? You had to make a fucking entrance, I see. You're like, I'm going to make him wait for it, and then I'm just going to pop up out of nowhere.
I was loading the song.
That's what's up, dude. What's good, man? How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Oh, dude, I'm doing well. Can't complain. Just enjoying life. Always hustling. Always doing something, you know?
Facts, bro. I hear that shit.
All day, every day, bro.
All day.
What it's all about. Damn. That's a big bowl, though. I like that bowl.
It's like a Dropout King song.
That's sick. Oh, that's sick, dude.
Yeah, fucking fan made it. It was like, fuck yeah, that's tight. I'm gonna use that.
Dude, that's sweet, man. It's all about like it's super tight when like fans make cool things for you.
I know, dude. They even made us a rolling tray that I have too that I use like every day.
Oh, dude, that's sick. That's sick, man. Oh, yeah.
Let me try to put in my AirPods real quick.
Oh, where am I quiet? These headphones are kind of new, so I'm not sure like how the microphone works on them. Is it pretty quiet? Well, I guess if you're pretty.
Yours are kind of quiet,
Yeah.
But then again, I'm also like partially deaf, so I'm almost biased.
Yeah, they're probably pretty quiet. I was trying to use one of my other mics, but it's like I don't know. I've been adjusting things to like see what the best quality is or whatever.
Can you hear me okay with these?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's much better.
Cool, sick, cool, man. So as you know, as you can probably see, you're being recorded. The whole thing's been recorded already.
Oh yeah.
So let's just go ahead and get started then. Cool. The main reason I wanted to talk to you and like record our conversation for the world is something I've learned working with you over the past couple months is like how important just like networking is in general, and like how like because like they say, oh, your network is your network, basically. Like, they say that the top five people you hang out with is like who you're gonna be, basically. And so I'm starting to like understand that and evaluate like my circle and all that, and try to elevate it. And one thing that I wanted to ask you is like, how do you go about networking like as an individual when you're like out and about and stuff, especially with like COVID and all that? How do you maintain your relationships?
Like if they post something that's like their dog or something, it's like I'll go in and be like, dude, it's so cute, blah blah. Like just keep those relationships going because they're still posting, like more than ever most of the time. So they're just chilling. Like this is why like during this COVID time I took the most shots I could possibly take, like I had a lot of people. We were doing like a few live streams when the album first dropped, Dropout Kings was, and like we had a bunch of guest features on there that I'd like never thought would happen, and like they were just chilling, you know what I mean? So it's like that was an opportune moment to reach out. And I always try to like, if you're making new connections, I always try to start small. Like you got to have small interactions, like, like, oh, this is cool or blah blah, and like exchange it a little bit back and forth, let them know you personally, and then you pitch something, you know what I mean? Because now that they know you, they're more likely to engage. And I always, there's like it's like, after 7 times of interacting with you, like it could be in person a couple times, could be like over the internet a few times, after 7 times they know you. You know what I mean? So it's just like, oh, that's Keenan, you know what I mean? So it's just like, that's Adam, so it's just like fucking, that's just how it is, like I always try to do that though, when I'm taking the approach of talking to like new people. Like I never just out the gate, like, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like I become friends first, and that really makes a difference, I would say.
Yeah, when I think about social media, especially like as an artist, as a creator, I've always kind of seen social media as it's kind of like a cocktail party to an extent, like where everyone's just kind of hanging out, having a good time, and you can like mingle, you can jump into conversations and stuff like you would at a cocktail party. And I'm starting
1,000%.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm starting to understand the value of like you're saying, man, just hopping in people's comments and like just interacting with them. I see a lot of people on social media nowadays, a lot of bands at least, that will typically like they'll use social media specifically to post on social media without interacting with anyone, without even interacting with people that comment on their posts or whatever. And I just wanted to get your opinion on that. Like, what do you think about that?
I would say it's a huge missed opportunity not engaging with your fans, or like the people that are keeping your page alive, like at least like their comment, at least try to respond. I mean, like, dude, I've had pages that have like over 30K, it's just like people still fucking keep up with it, it's like, and, algorithmically, it's just like if you're looking at just math and numbers and stuff, it's like on the algorithm, like they push the priority of them seeing your post by like mutual engagement, so it's like they like and comment on your post, you comment back, maybe you like their post, maybe you comment on their post. Algorithmically, it pushes you up on their feed, you know what I'm saying? So like they will see your stuff more, and in turn you will see theirs. And I mean, I think it's so crucial that you establish like a relationship with your fan base and engage with them and encourage them to interact with your page, because where's the incentive if, you don't give a fuck or you want to be the cool guy? And it's like the cool guy shit works when you are the cool guy, but when you're building your shit and you're not the cool guy yet, I mean, even then, I just feel like it's still not the move. Like I always try to, those people that you talk to, like, I mean, you make relationships with these people. I mean, like, those are the ones that are buying every piece of merch when your merch drops. They're the ones that are pre-saving your shit. They're the ones that are, going the extra mile for you. And, it's a give and take. If you give a little incentive for them, you get a lot from that, So, and it's not just about giving and getting. It's really about forming a relationship with these people, and like that is ultimately what makes all the difference, like in the end, and it's a slow process, it takes a while, but fast money is always dangerous money, fast building is always dangerous building, it's like, this is a super cliche, but it's like Rome wasn't built in a day, you know what I mean? It takes time. Like you got to make this community that they want to be a part of, and, engaging with fans is a huge part of that.
Yeah, 100%, man. Cool. So let's shift gears a little bit. I wanted to talk to you about Push and like just kind of how Push started, because I've been seeing some articles and seeing some things about you as an individual. Tell me like something that you learned, kind of like really pushing it.
Dude, I know it's funny because like the name too, like whenever we came up with it, it was just like we didn't realize like how many like little things like that pop up, and we're like, that's funny, that's awesome. But one big part was like, so I ran and operated a gym, like that was something that I've always done outside of music, like whenever I got into the workforce. I mean, I was a teacher originally, and then I wound up getting into the gym industry, and I did that for like 7 years. And then, I wanted to own one. So I was like making moves to do that. And COVID just happened, and like everything was going great, and we were doing amazing, and we were making steps, and, like I wanted to own a gym. And, COVID happened, and then it just kind of turned everything upside down. And, like I always had the gym stuff because I'm like, it's safe, it's blah, 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 blah. I mean, before I knew it, I was like unemployed, like all this shit. And it's just like, I like to be diversified. So it's like, yeah, there's money coming in from the music directly and indirectly, but it's like, I don't want to be pigeonholed, like I want more income streams, happening. And I knew how to run a gym from the inside out. But so anyways, like that got flipped upside down, and I had always helped fans like market on the side, just as like a side thing. And it was ironic because the guy that owned the gym that I worked at, he was like, he always said like the obstacle becomes the path, and it's super weird because like in a sense like COVID was the obstacle, but it also became the path because like I realized that even no matter how safe you think a job is, you know, like it's not. And so it really just, it pivoted my business because I was like, you know, it took a violent shove into reality, and like now this was my bread and butter, and now this was like all on me and like all this shit, and it honestly was like the most stressful thing ever, but it was the best thing that could have happened. So in a weird way, the obstacle literally did become the path to making this thing like real, you know, and not just like a little side thing. So that was probably one of the more interesting things that I've learned like over this couple month period, you know, that I've been doing this like full time. And it's just kind of crazy like watching it happen. I feel like it's when we first like launched Dropout Kings, you know, it's like a super similar feeling, and it's good to feel that again, you know, so it's just cool, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. How like you were working, you know, your safe job, and then just out of nowhere, it wasn't safe anymore.
Right, bro. It's just like, you know, but you know, it's just like anything. It's like you adapt or you just die. You know what I mean? And dying is not an option.
True, it's true. Yeah, no, but it's like you were saying, man. It's about multiple streams of income and like diversifying, because the more, you know, the more streams of income, the less likely you are to run into it.
Exactly.
You got nothing, you know, completely. And I tell artists all the time, man, that they should be doing some sort of side hustles, like, especially now. Like,
oh God, yeah.
Oh, dude. There's
like if you're a stagehand, and you know, if you're a stagehand, stage manager, like anything like that, it's just like fuck, man. Like you've been out of pay for what, 3 quarters now? You know, like that's not okay. You know, like this, you know, it's like I just hope that those people can find, you know, or have established like multiple streams of income, and you know, like at least found something else that they can do. You know, like it's hard to even like DoorDash and Lyft and Uber now because of everything that's happening, you know, and it's just crazy.
It's wild, man. And I definitely agree. I think people need to diversify and be smarter about the way that they create income for themselves. Like a job, in my opinion, a job's never really been that secure. But I think that people are starting to understand the illusion of security.
Oh, 100%, and that's all it really is an illusion. You know what I mean? It's just like if someone's trying to break into your house, it doesn't matter how many fucking cameras you have or whatever. If they want to get in there, they're gonna fucking get in there. You know, like they will find a way.
Oh man, definitely true. Cool. So you talked a little bit about Dropout Kings. I couldn't talk to Adam Ramey without talking about Dropout Kings. So let's you know. But cool. So what are you guys up to right now? I know you recently dropped the album, and I talked to you on the podcast before the album dropped.
Damn, it was that long ago?
Yeah, dude.
It doesn't even feel like it was that long ago.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you hustle, I guess.
Fuck, I guess so, man. Holy shit.
But yeah, it was a minute ago, dude. It's been like since March or April since I talked to you. Well, on the podcast.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's been a minute. But one thing that I think was funny that we were talking about on it last time was your song "The Virus," and then you guys have recently since dropped "The Virus," and I kind of wanted to ask you, like, I know that like the pandemic and all that wasn't necessarily the inspiration for the song. What was your inspiration for that song?
Dude, the ironic part about that song is it's actually about suicide and men in particular, because like suicides take up about 76%. Like males take up about 76% of all suicides, you know? So, and like there's a lyric in there in the chorus that's like suffering in silence, you know? And that's kind of like how guys are, you know? It's like we have to kind of bottle it up and like man up and all this shit. We're not allowed to talk about things. So, you know, like it was just interesting how many parallels you can draw from that though to like, you know, we're all isolated now. So it's like people were thinking, you know, it's like suffering in silence, like at their houses and stuff. And I'm like, dude, it's kind of the same thing. And, you know, I was really trying to say it was like a virus. It was like a pandemic, you know, like this suicide thing. And like, I lost my best friend to it, you know, and like, so that was kind of like the whole thing behind that. And, yeah, it was just crazy when, all of that shit happened. And it was funny because we were writing that song and I was like, no one's going to be able to relate to this because it's like virus, you know, like what are they going to be weird about this? Like I'm like, no one's going to be able to relate to a virus. You know what I mean? And then literally all of that shit happened. I'm like, wow, like it couldn't be more relevant. Like that's weird as fuck. Yeah, it's definitely really strange.
Yeah, that's wild. Because like it released like I don't know, like the first or second month of all the yeah,
dude. Yeah, like in the midst of it, like the heat of it, it was so weird, man. Like I'll never forget that. Wow. Even before that, the Glitch Gang single that we dropped, like there's a glitch in the system. Like right after that, I swear, like all this crazy shit started happening. I was like, I feel like when you write shit, you just channel into this weird fucking dimension or something, bro. But we like, I'm not saying we made shit happen, but it's just weird. You know what I mean? Like it's just weird. Like you write about like shit that you think has nothing to do with anything really, and then it's just like, wow, fuck, it kind of really does. That's strange.
It becomes super relevant.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird.
I feel it, dog. I feel it. Speaking of Glitch Gang, I actually put Glitch Gang on a playlist that I created. It's like a
hell yeah, thanks.
Playlist.
Send it to me. I'll share that shit.
I will. I got you. But so the virus video that you guys did, that was done by Chucky, right? Like, Oh, dude. What's that like, having a member who can like film these videos and stuff?
Amazing. I think like that's like when you want a band to work, you know, if everybody can't, and he does contribute financially, but I'm just saying like if some people can't necessarily contribute financially, like find people that can save you some fucking money on the side, you know what I mean? Like as much as you can do in house, the better, because everything then stays on brand. You know, it doesn't go into different hands, you know what I mean? But then again, at some points, you know, we do go outside of us, you know, just to kind of change it up and just see what other people see, you know what I mean? So, but it's very handy because he does like the graphics and all the merch designs, and he's very good at marketing as well. So it's nice having that synergy, you know, and like everyone in the band has their own niche, you know, so it makes it work, you know. And like Stage, our other guitarist, like he records everything, you know, he writes a lot of the instrumentals, you know, like most of them. So it's just like, you know, everyone's got their own thing, you know, so it's cool.
Everyone's doing something, man. And I talked about it before about how like every member in the band should have a role outside of their like instrument. Like if you're the guitarist, man, you better be the music video director too. Like
yeah,
gone are the days that we just play instruments.
Yeah, and then right, and at the same time too, it's like if you're good at photography and videography, I mean, like if you're in a good sized band, I mean that means your shit's gonna get published in you know, articles, like outlets, you know. So it's building yourself in a multifaceted way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. A band like what is it? Dead Crown? Dead Crown comes to mind.
Yeah, Kendall.
Yeah, they've got Kendall, and Kendall does all his stuff, all their stuff. It's like, yeah, man. Like it helps to have someone who's gonna, you know, not only does he help you with your music videos and stuff, but he helps you with your designs and all that. It definitely helps to like have that type of member. Of course, you know, it's okay to reach out. Like I think you guys did Glitch Gang with Jacob Reynolds, right?
Yeah, and Jacob had done every video before that. You know what I mean? Yeah, like he's done every single video we had, including Glitch Gang, aside from like some live video that we had, and then and Virus, you know?
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, Jacob's dude, I like that guy a lot.
Yeah, he's good as fuck.
He's good at what he does. That's for sure.
But, it was just time to change it up, It's like, he's done every video. Let's give Chucky a shot, and I think he did a good job, so it was fun, and then next time, who knows if we'll go to Chucky? Maybe we'll go to somebody else, it's just fucking throwing things against the wall, seeing what sticks, I'm all about that.
Dude, yeah, no, I feel that's crazy, man, because I was literally just thinking about that, like, yesterday, about how, like, bands should be investing in like cameras and gear and stuff to like create their own content. Because like I remember one of the biggest things that held me back before I started like freelancing and like learning how to create content was like it costs money to like get photos.
Fuck yeah, it does.
And dude, like that shit is not cheap, But,
at all.
Like, when you think about it, if a music video is going to cost you like $600 to $1,200 depending on who you're going with.
Yeah, easy.
Exactly, easy. But like if you get like a decent setup, you can get like a decent setup for like $2,000, $2,500.
Yeah, your ROI is so fast,
Exactly, dude. Like it just makes sense to like invest in it yourself. Watch a couple YouTube videos on how to do it.
Yeah, and the thing is like, even if you're not good at editing, like, bro, film it all and fucking have someone edit it. You know what I mean? That still cuts your costs down to so fucking little. It's just like when even like in house, if you got a band member that can like track it all and everything, it's like, I mean, it's great when you can get fresh ears on it that can mix and master it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like, and everything's tracked properly. I mean, there you go. Like that just saved you thousands of dollars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Being able to do everything yourself, DIY. Like, I mean, not necessarily. You don't necessarily have to like, record a full-fledged album, but at least like be able to like control your stuff and have your stuff ready for your producer, so that your producer.
Yeah, and I mean, like, dude, labels aren't gonna sign bands that are in development if you don't have infrastructure. If you have infrastructure and you've been doing your thing, they can get behind that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's another thing. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of these labels won't really take on developing acts, but if they do, it's because they believe in you guys and you have good infrastructure, and like those things matter. Like aside from just helping you yourself, it's just it goes along. Hard work doesn't go unnoticed. It never does. Like you can think it does, it doesn't though. Like someone sees it. You never know who's watching ever.
Yeah, that's true, man. And then in the age with social media, like you post something and thousands of people see it. It's like you never know. You never know who's out there. You never know who's paying attention.
Yeah, some A&R could be lurking on your shit. You don't know. It happens all the time.
But like going back to what you were saying about like being pro and stuff, I think that I was talking to Sam from Mark's Life the other day, and we were talking about how
from who? From what?
Mark's Life, the band Mark's Life?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Sam, their vocalist, and we were talking about how, like, just how important it is to, like, be professional, because labels won't look at you unless you have a marketable product. Like,
absolutely, bro.
Unless you're going to make them money, why would they give you any money? Like,
that's the thing. And in the same sense, it's like, if you're bringing a lot to the table too, what's the label bringing to the table? You know what I mean? It's like, why should you give them a 360 deal or like a 50-50 deal? You know what I mean? It's like, what are they bringing to the table? In the same sense, they're doing the same thing to you guys, because at the end of the day, it's a business deal. It's an investment, on your part and their end. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, and that's another thing that goes into those deals. It's like, how high risk are they trying to be? Like, how much monetarily are they putting on the line? Like, where they, where's their safety net at in this contract? I look for it. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, here's how they're making their money back. Is he fucking us? You know what I mean? Like, that's another thing, so it all fucking plays into that,
Yeah. Be aware of what you're signing, and like, definitely understand exactly how the game works before you
1,000%. Get a lawyer. That's any time in a contract's in your face. Just fucking bite the bullet. Get a lawyer, bro.
Yeah, it's worth it. Absolutely. You don't want to be pissed at yourself in 2 years.
No. Yeah. It may cost a couple $100 for them to look at it, but I mean, dude, you could leverage a better deal. He could tell you what you're getting fucked on. You know, like all of that stuff helps.
Definitely worth it for sure. Damn, man. All right, man. Well, let's end it on that. I appreciate you hanging out with me, man. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah. Of course, bro.
Hyping you on the socials, so I figured out.
I know. I appreciate you, bro. Likewise, we're gonna get some sick ass guests coming up here pretty soon, so I'm fucking hyped.
Oh, dude, I'm all about it, man. Getting that bread. Just keep growing, man.
Yeah, that's all it is, bro. Just keep plugging away.
Just a steady growth. Like that's the biggest thing. Like just continue content which allows for consistent growth.
Yeah, and it eventually turns exponential if you just keep up with it,
Mm-hmm. It's true, man. Like anything, like any type of content anyone puts out there, it has the capability to be something. It's just a matter of the effort.
There's a market for everything. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta find it. As cliche as that sounds, it's facts,
Well, it's like you gotta, cause like I tried a bunch of shit before I stumbled on the Music Festivals podcast. Like it's all about just like finding what you like, like discover what you want.
Exactly.
Cause I played in even like bands that I was like not necessarily a fan of the sound, but I was just part of the band to be in the band, And I think that like as individuals, as artists, like we need to focus more on like liking what we do and being happy about what we do.
That's super true, bro. It changes everything because then it doesn't feel like work, and when it doesn't feel like work is when you actually feel like freedom. You know what I mean? And being able to feel content. You know what I mean? Like that's so hard to feel, especially now. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, dude. It's a good feeling. I think you're super on point with that. That's like a really good point. I mean, like, you just got it. And, dude, if you play pretend for too long, it fucks with you. Yeah. You know what I mean? You split your personality in half. You know what I mean? It's like you sit there and zone out. And, I got tired of someone telling me my life was worth like $15, $20 an hour. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I determine what my life is worth an hour. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that. I was just done. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like they say, man, like you're either building your dream or you're building someone else's.
Fuck, that's the truth, dude. Like it's like no wonder we're unhappy. Like we're fucking waking up early to make money for some other guy or girl, you know what I mean? It's just like, fuck that. Like I want to be, and they take the dollars, give you the cents, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck that shit.
Yeah. No,
and then they expect you to feel grateful for it, It's like, fuck you. Why should I be grateful for that?
Well, like, here's your scraps.
Yeah, eat it, you fucking pig, It's just like, get out of here.
It's true, though. But yeah, no, dude, I definitely feel that. Like, it's rough, man. It's rough.
Yeah, super rough.
But hey, man, I think that if we as artists, like individuals, actually like took more focus on like individual happiness and like building our own dreams and building our own lives, and like I realized when I was like 15 or 16 years old that I wasn't gonna do it, man. I was like,
that's how I felt too.
This isn't the life for me, man. And
no, yeah, even when I was like 10 or 12, it's like I would see these people that were like older and just like you could tell they didn't have a lot, and it was just like, fuck, like in the most non fucked up way possible. Like even before I even could fully understand it, I was like, I don't want to be that. You know, like I knew from that point, even before I could fully understand what was happening, I'm like, I don't want to be that. You know what I mean? Like it scared me. So it's just like, you know, it's just crazy, man. Life's just weird, dude. It's so weird.
It's especially right now. But hey, man, it's just keep hustling, keep like
Facts, bro.
prize, bro. Like
Yeah.
always go after it, and never let anyone tell you no, ever.
Nah. And if they do tell you no, who cares? Just go find someone else say yes. You know what I mean?
Dude, I say that all the time. I'm always telling my homie, I'm like, yo, if they're not about it, just find someone else.
Yeah, dude. There's been so many times where people were just like didn't fucking show me any love. You know what I mean? And over time, they come around. You know what I mean? And it's just like then it becomes more rewarding because you're like, this guy wouldn't even fucking talk to me before. You know what I mean? And now he's like buddy with me. You know, it's just like it's just funny. You know, and it feels good though. You know, it's like now I feel like I accomplish something, you know, it's like this guy talks to me now. He didn't before, you know, so, and that shit adds up, man.
Yeah, no, I feel it, man.
And people could have an ego about it and be like, no, fuck that guy. And it's just like, dude, take it as a compliment, man. He knows you now, you know?
Yeah, and that's what it's about, man. It's about like proving those people to say you can't do it wrong. And, you know, just having a blast with the rest.
Yeah. It's just people overcomplicate it, you know. This is anything that where you have to try, you're doing it wrong. You know, it's just like, yeah, you gotta try, but it's one of those things you just gotta let it flow. You know, like with anything, you know, if you're trying too hard, you're working too hard. You know, it's all about trying to get 90% of the result for like 10% of the effort, which sounds ass backwards. But when you're zoned in and you're locked in, think about these fucking gamers, bro. Like it falls deep in a fucking game and like they're just zoned in, bro. You know what I'm saying? But they're not trying. They're just flowing, you know, but they're getting 90% of the result for 10% effort, you know? So it's like, it's just really about getting in that fucking zone.
Yeah, no, I feel it, man. It's like when I started this podcast, I you know, I was nowhere near like to the caliber of like interviews that I'm doing now. But it's like I knew that I would eventually get to where I am, you know, and I'm still growing. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that I've made it or anything, but it's like I knew I would get there. I just had to.
Yeah. You had a goal and a path in mind, and that gives you trajectory. You know what I'm saying? Like you need that, and you'll even if you set the bar high, even if you get like right here, it's still like, damn, I did a lot. You know, and it's just like, even though I didn't get whatever, or even if maybe you did, you know, it's just like, fuck, dude, I did it, you know, and then it's just, with me, I'm never satisfied, which sucks. But then at the same time, it's the biggest reason why I have done what I've done. You know, it's just like that driving force is just like, all right, like this is cool, but how do you double it? You know what I mean? It's just like, fuck. It's like a curse at the same time, but it's also like a blessing, you know?
Hey man, that's true. It's made you stand out above your peers. So you're doing
appreciate that, bro. Likewise, though, homie. Just grinding, bro.
All day, only because of your inspiration, man.
Nah, bro, you got the right mindset. That's really all it comes down to. You know what I mean? That then you let in what you let in. You know what I mean? And that's really what it boils down to. It's just manifesting shit. You know, when I find people with shitty attitudes, I'm like, bro, I can't help you. Like, and it's not because the product is bad. It's just like I can't help you because like you don't want to be helped. You know, and that's why you won't get where you want to go because you're not letting the universe do it.
Dude, I'm so glad that you say that because that brings to mind like people who talk a big game, like, yo, I'm doing this shit, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, and they never come through on anything. And it's like why are we doing that? Like, why are you just talking, man? Like, actually put in work and let your actions speak, you know?
Right. People just, you know, it's just people want to feel relevant and like they're doing something, but they're really just doing themselves a big disservice by doing that. Because it's like, man, all the energy you put forth in like bullshitting, like you could have done stuff, you know, like you could have just done it and it would have been less work, you know, and you would have done it, you know. So it's just like that's another, and those are the people that usually have the biggest mouths and opinions about stuff too. And it's just like, you know, it's just like, get out of here, bro. Like I can't even take you seriously. Like execute things, and then, you know, I can take your opinion as validation or something, you know.
Then we'll talk after you've actually.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's not even like a snobby thing. It's just like, bro, I want you to do it for you, just to prove that you can, you know. Like it sucks watching you not do it when you like want to so badly, obviously.
Well, I mean, it's like you're saying, like how sometimes you're like, man, I can't help you. I mean, I'm sure that those are the type of people, like the kind of people that say that they want to do big things but don't necessarily have anything to offer, or you know, or their budget is not necessarily where they.
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, you know, or there's so many levels that go into it, you know. But to me, it really just boils down to mindset and the willingness to try new things and put the ego in the fucking trash can. You know what I mean? It's just like right out the gate. And if I don't have that, I can't help you. You know what I mean? Like, because you're never going to solve the problems you have coming at it with the same mindset you're in right now. You know what I mean? It's just not going to work. You've already tried everything, you know?
And trying the same thing over and over and expecting.
Yeah, expecting something else. Like, what is that? You know?
Yeah, man. No, I totally 100% feel that. Mindset is everything. And like, if you're not willing to put in the work and actually make it happen for yourself, then nothing's ever going to happen.
Yeah. And the other thing that people, right. And the other thing that people neglect is just like the biggest benefit you have over anyone else is that you're you. You know what I mean? No one else has that perspective but you.
Yeah. You said that on the last podcast, actually.
Did I really? That's awesome. That just shows you, bro. I'm about it. You know, it's
yeah, I'm about it, man. And on that note, let's end it with that. But it's
yeah. My bad.
You are no one, or you are no one. No, you are uniquely you. It's true, man. And that's the biggest advantage, man. Is that you have your perspective. You don't have other people's, and you can tell.
No one can have that. Well, you know, no one can do that again except you. And they can try. They can replicate it, but it won't be authentic. You know what I mean?
It won't be, dude, no, I feel it, man. Cool. So, Adam, man, thank you again for hanging out, man.
Of course, bro. Yeah, man, I cherish these talks.
You always bring so much knowledge. I'm just like, oh, man, so much.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate that, man. I'm glad it helps, bro. You know, I mean, this is why we're doing this shit. You know what I mean? So, I fuck with it.
All right, dude, I fuck with it. Happy. But before we get out of here, what's so Dropout Kings? You're everywhere, yeah?
Wait, what'd you say?
I said Dropout Kings. You guys are everywhere, yeah?
Dude, we're fucking trying, man. We working on a bunch of new shit. Fucking we actually got a couple of festivals booked. One's not announced yet. Yeah, one is in Czech Republic. And yeah, man, got some new shit coming and a lot of shit's happening, man. It just sucks because a lot of it's behind the scenes, but you know, we grinded.
You're on all the platforms though. They can find you everywhere.
Oh yeah, fucking on all the shits. Just, you know, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Just look up Dropout Kings on whatever. It'll pop up. Dropout Kings AZ on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, I believe. Oh no, TikTok I think is just Dropout Kings. But yeah, pretty much it, man.
Oh yeah. Well, again, man, thanks for hanging out with me. I will.
Of course.
I think that's all I really needed from you. So.
All right, perfect, bro. Appreciate you, dog.
All right, man. I'll catch you later.
I'll talk to you soon.
Later.